With everything we owned packed away in a U-Haul truck, we were on our way to Charleston, South Carolina. Charleston, originally Charlestown until it was changed after the Revolutionary War, is the largest city in South Carolina, and it's where Caitlyn was born and raised.
I'm from Charleston. I was born and raised here. Charleston is very beautiful. Charleston is very kind and very historical. The people are extremely friendly here. It's very slow, I would say, very, very calm. Not everybody's just, it's again, it's a nice southern city. Everybody takes their time, and instead of rushing all the time, it's like take your time and do things maybe the better way, the proper way.
Okay, I'm sold, but first we had to get there. All right, gotta make a pit stop because I gotta pee. I drank too big of a drink. How much gas does yours take?
Well, I was at only half a tank, so 5.783 gallons at 9.59 total.
Wow. Well, the truck was at just under a quarter of a tank, so we'll see how many gallons and money we're gonna spend on this one. $75. I'm gonna say about $75.
Okay. I don't know. I can't do math right now. I need food.
There's Subway. I must say, I really like Love's a lot, in case you didn't notice. We're at 22 gallons so far. It's taken a while. It's taken a wee bit of time.
Oh man, now that we're standing here, now I do have to pee.
I gotta pee so bad. And watching the gas tank get filled just makes me pee more. I want to pee more.
Right, hearing it.
Yeah.
Gush, 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 gush.
Oh, just shy of $45, or 45 gallons and $75, which is my guess. That's pretty good.
So, if this was Price is Right, I would have gone over or under. No, I would have been too far under. You would have been the closer.
Yeah, well, don't you lose when it goes over the amount you guess?
That's right. That's how it works.
So
yeah,
it's still under what I guessed, so
Yeah.
I'm good. And I'm
So-
closest.
And you're closest. So
It's over you, so you
would have
lost.
won
Yeah.
both prizes.
I win. Yeah, I win the prize. What's the prize, you ask? The prize is I get to drive the big-ass truck. About to exit Florida, so we're almost there. We got Georgia and then South Carolina. Almost done driving this big old boat. A full day of driving, but we made it to Charleston. The next morning, it was time to open the truck and see the results.
It's not quite as bad as I was picturing
Well,
in my head.
both bikes fell over, but they're both leaning into the wall, which might not matter, might matter, do not know,
Fingers crossed that it doesn't matter.
need to find out. I mean, my bike seems okay, but it's been resting on the handlebars. And your bike's basically similar, but I feel like I looked at your kickstand and it looks wonky.
It looks like a mustache trying to curl. We're putting it in neutral? No?
I would like to.
Huh?
I would like to if you want to try putting it in neutral. Not gonna fuss with it right now. If anything, it's a lesson to do not do things the way I do them.
Guess we got
I am
lucky the
wrong.
first time moving from Nashville to New Orleans.
Yep. We do some work.
Yep.
You get all the little things that you can get. And, I'm caught up and I'll help you with some of the big things. 2 days after arriving in Charleston, I flew to Pittsburgh to help Merrick take a car across the country to Tucson, Arizona.
Little desert rain. This is rain in the desert. And this is Josh in the desert. Rain in the desert. Josh in the desert.
Hi.
Rain in the desert. Oh, there's a spider on my camera though. Sorry, buddy.
After doing the drive and then spending a week in Tucson, I was back in Charleston and it was time to fix the motorcycles. But something smells funny in Charleston.
Oh, that smell you're smelling right now? Well, we're right at the water, kind of at the waterfront right now, so you're going to be getting that nice, rich pluff mud smell, which pluff mud is really thick, kind of slimy mud in particular due to the sediment from the waters, really the decay of the creatures as well as the grass in our marshlands, and it has a very distinct smell. Yeah, it kind of smells like farts from cabbage, but with a more earthy scent to it. It's lovely, people, I swear.
All right, so we broke both of our kickstands. Well, Caitlyn's kickstand for sure. You can see how it's bent, and the bike is like far too leaned over on the kickstand. It's bent. Hers should be a simpler replacement. Just gotta pull that kickstand off and get the new one on. Mine's been a little more complex. What I think is happening is I think it's bent where it attaches to the frame, and I think the pin is bent because it doesn't look like the kickstand itself is bent. But getting this pin out has been a nightmare, and I think because it's bent. So I think I'm gonna have to drop the bike on its side and actually hammer it out. I was able to hammer it until it was flush, but then I can't really. Now I'm trying to pry it off, and it's getting difficult. So.
All right, so both of our bikes after the move were more or less on their side, so we can't get either pin out on either one of our bikes. His pin definitely is bent. We're not exactly sure with mine, so that means we're gonna have to turn them on their sides and lay them down gently and hammer out the pins. So fingers crossed, everybody.
It's probably the first time that I'm purposely dropping my bike on its side. Wish me luck. We were able to hammer mine out. Now we're working on Caitlyn's, but it's
Tricky.
It must
so
be.
Where we're gonna go with.
Yeah, it must be threaded in the frame because we were actually spinning it out until we ran out of the bottom to grab it with. So now we're chewing up that top part. We're just trying to get traction. We'll try some duct tape while her bike leaks gasoline onto the yard. All right, so going to the Triumph dealer to see if they can fix my side stand. And I'm also worried the frame of the bike might be bent, and that might be the real problem. I got the pin out, the pivot pin, but I can't get the new one in, no matter what I've tried. So let's see if the dealer's got better luck than I do. I also have my bike partially taken apart, so there's no kickstands, or there's no foot pedal for me. I didn't want to put I have half the engine dresser bars on, and the way I took them off, it's just easier to take off the foot peg itself from the frame. So I figured, why put everything back on just for them to take it off and add more to the labor cost. So I can still drive the bike just fine, but my legs are in a really weird spot I gotta either leave my left foot dangling or I can put it back on the passenger peg. But unfortunately, kind of cramping up right now. Still fun to ride. I took my bike to Northridge Custom Cycles in Charleston, which is a Triumph dealer, Triumph and Royal Enfield, and they were able to get the new pin in. The bike does seem like it leans over still a bit too much though, so perhaps the frame is slightly bent. I got Caitlyn a Cuddle clone of Leroy, and it finally came in. It was time to see the results and hope for the best. Box was a bit mangled.
That's a bit of an understatement. Honestly, I was really, really happy with how it turned out. I wish the snout was made a little too long for his snout, so that's the only thing that makes it look not like him. But other than that, like, out of the corner of my eye, if it's in the car with me, I'll think it's Leroy. Or if it's on the bed, I'll kind of for a moment forget that it's not actually Leroy. So it's really nice to have. Just also with my own personal grieving and really missing him, it's nice to have. It brings a nice comfort to me. I thoroughly, really love it. They didn't get quite as big of a Buddha belly as Leroy had. They were very kind to him.
On the agenda today is finally fixing Caitlyn's bike. She's got the parts in, but we need to get breakfast first. I'm hungry. So
I'm starving.
yeah, we're gonna go to the Waffle House. Show us your parts.
Alright, so. Chris hurt his back.
God damn.
Before the sneeze.
And for those who don't know, what is a Waffle House?
Oh, Waffle House. It's a house of waffles. Yeah, it's like a diner, but not real. I don't know. It's a staple of the South. Most of the time, it's when you're super drunk at 3 in the morning, but it's good at any time of the day.
What I'll say is, I didn't grow up with Waffle Houses, and I heard a lot of jokes about how dirty and gross they are, and that's never been my experience. I've always been really good, so.
So Waffle House is a diner here in the South. Growing up, we used to always go to Waffle Houses after a concert or performance. You can get breakfast any time of the day. It's open 24 hours, doesn't even close for Christmas. So if you have nowhere else to be, it's also a great place to go on Christmas. Nice and busy. Now this particular Waffle House is the Waffle House Anthony Bourdain came to visit and ate at in his Charleston episode, Parts Unknown. So we're gonna go have breakfast.
So my back is really hurt I don't know why. It's a consequence of having osteoporosis and breaking your back so many times. So Caitlyn's gonna fix her bike, not me. I am being useful by holding the bike upright while she works on it, drinking a Red Bull, and holding the manual. I'm useful. So part of the problem is we didn't read the manual first, and we were trying to hammer that out instead of it needed to be a cap came off the pin and then you screw it out.
That's why you should always read your manual first. No matter what it is, read the manual first.
Yeah, this one's a little bit on me because I had done my bike first and I was like, it probably works the same. It didn't. Whoops.
It looks like a curly Q mustache.
Where's the other one? Compare it to the other one.
What it should look like, nice and straight. How mine looked like, nice and bent.
Straight's overrated anyway.
Let's get this new one on here. It's so clean and shiny. You gotta love that chrome, baby. Chris hates the chrome. He gets everything blacked out on his bike if it has a hint of silver.
I don't
A
hate...
hint of shine he doesn't like.
I don't hate chrome.
He hates it. He despises it.
It's just not appropriate on my bike. I don't mind the chrome that's on your bike.
One hook done. One hook done. That was easy. Now the other spring.
What'd you say, Caitlyn?
Fuck. F-U-K.
The southern way.
The southern way. The ladylike way. I don't know how you got it off.
Muscle.
Where?
In my arms.
Oh, that little one popped off.
No!
No. Attaching the spring. Take 2. Snappy. Success! It was a teamwork effort. I did most of it, but that one little internal spring there, I couldn't do it. I couldn't even budget like half a millimeter. So Chris, he had to manhandle that spring, and boy did he manhandle it. Twice!
Just went to Home Depot, got some washers. I forget who I saw this from on Facebook. I will post the picture somewhere in the screen. One of these corners. I don't know how I'm framed. One of these corners. So thanks to that person. They said that this bracket that I got a while ago that you lose ABS on, they said they were able to make it work by putting washers on the ABS ring, which is pretty smart, but also it's kind of like that makes total sense. Why didn't I think of that? 2 washers. I'm starting off with 2 washers because these are pretty thin. Hey man, what's the worst case that happens? It comes flying off and I die in a fiery death. Shit. We're gonna give this a shot because I'm a couple weeks away from going to Kentucky, and I feel there's a high possibility I could nail my rear brake caliper on a rock. Obviously, it hasn't happened yet. I've been okay, but
Your luck might be running out.
just in case I go through a really rocky area where there's my tire goes right past a rock, I don't want to hit it.
Doing anything with that hand?
No, sorry.
It was just funny. You're holding it. Now what?
We're gonna install this and see if it works. I'm a stubborn guy. I won't use her help. I won't use her help. She's filming. Oh my lord.
Poorly at that.
Eat your heart out, Dave Beckham. You might be worth like $500 million and are really good looking. I don't have anything else. Damn. Now that one was a motorcycle. You'll have to guess what brand it was. Do we have guesses? Wasn't China.
We'll give you a hint. Potato, 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 potato. Potato.
I'm gonna wash my hands, and then it's time to take this beast around the neighborhood and see if that worked.
You pumped your brakes a few times?
Good call. I may have broken my bike again.
So Chris put on 2 washers at first. I would have just done 1 if he had asked me before he did it, but he didn't. So the back sensor kind of got worn down. I had to sort of sand the edges.
Take it for a little spin.
Well, turn the camera over here. It's like a Christmas tree on my dashboard. But now it might be because the sensor's damaged. You know? So, I'm doing some work on my bike before Red River Scramble. I'm trying to make that stupid rear brake caliper relocation kit work. I wound up damaging my ABS sensor in the process, so I had to spend $130 to get a new one. I do make a lot of costly mistakes, don't I? Very unfortunate. Anyhow, my rear brake pads aren't shot, but they're getting low, so I am going to replace them now. And then I do have new front brake pads that I'm not going to replace, but I'm going to hang on to them. I'm going to bring with me on the trip, or I should say while I'm traveling, and I will use them when I need them. If you're wondering about the noise, I will show you. Little southern rain. Now you can actually see the rain, huh?
Oh, the food here is delicious. Charleston is really, really grown for, I guess, in the food world.
Before heading out, it was time to have one last meal together.
So we got a brisket, a pulled pork, we have green beans, fried okra, and we have hash over rice, which I have never had before, so it's going to be a new experience for me as well. And we have our Charleston mustard-based barbecue sauce. This is what I grew up with. So whenever people say Carolina barbecue sauce, this is what I think of. I don't think of it in vinegar or other types of barbecue sauce. This is the good stuff.
So there you have Charleston, South Carolina. A beautiful, charming city rich in history. With good food and even better people. For me, the real charm of Charleston is Caitlyn. I've spent plenty of time before this visiting Charleston with Caitlyn and her family. And it's nice to see into the history of somebody you care so much about. So for that, Charleston will always hold a special place in my heart. But it's time to hit the road. Take care and scramble on.
So yeah, that's Charleston.